Hello, I'm Anna from Miss A Crochet, and today I'm going to be crocheting, and I have been crocheting chickens. I just got this pattern last night, and I have completed 4 chickens, and then I have one that just needs their little their crown. And so I'm gonna be making some more and chatting with you. I love these guys. Again, the pattern is from Oak and Marlow. I think it's $5 on Etsy, and they're super easy to whip up. Hardly any sewing. You just have to sew across the top and then sew this little part on. And then there is embroidery, but we're learning to love embroidery because it makes things look good. You can make them kiss. I am here chilling alone while my dogs watch Jealous inside, and I'm gonna talk to you because why not? You know, I feel like I don't do a lot of talking compared to like other crochet people that I watch, and I really enjoy listening to other crochet people talk about crocheting, so I'm gonna do that. And if you don't like it, you can leave. There's the door. I'm using these random pieces of yarn for my failed Totoro attempt because it was color changing and I cut them all. So I'm just reusing these pieces to try and make a bunch of chickens because I don't want to just waste this yarn. So that's what I'm doing, or at least that's what this gray chicken and this cream chicken have been from that failed attempt, which you'll probably see later on. Anyways, I'm discovering that I'm crocheting in like patterns, I guess. Well, no, I didn't say that right. That sounds really dumb. I'm crocheting in different spurts. So for a while, last summer when I first started my Instagram account, Miss A Crochet, go follow me there, I was really into making easy patterns that were small, that I could, you know, whip out a ton of things in a day. So some of my favorites were like Not Jagco's Leggy Froggies. I made a lot of bees, a lot of octopi, and then I was just doing a lot of smaller projects. And then I made my first whale shark. Yeah, hold on. I've almost memorized this pattern. Almost memorized it. And then I made my first whale shark. It was like, whoa, I can make really cool things. I mean, it's a one-of-a-kind item, of course. Nobody's out there mass producing crochet whale sharks that you can fit like your entire arm into. So then I got on a kick of making really complicated, unique projects. I made that whale shark. I started a different project I haven't completed. I started my giant whale shark, which lasted a long time. I made Levi, my devil, from, oh, what was it? Something rabbits. I'll link the pattern. I just started making like a lot more unique things, I feel like. Well, during the school year, obviously I'm a college student, so I don't have a lot of time, so I was spending a lot of time making unique things that I wanted to make. Is this chicken butt in the frame? It's not. And then during Christmas, I started making ornaments. I made a lot of ornaments, and those were all pretty easy patterns that I could just whip up in a couple of months. I mean, that I could whip up in a couple of hours. And then after that, I wasn't crocheting very much. I was preparing for my violin recital. I was in like hardcore practice mode. And then again, I started making more complicated, intricate patterns, one-of-a-kind items. Now that I've almost finished all of those, or I'm getting into, you know, more free time to crochet, excuse me while I do this, I'm finding that I want to start making simple patterns again. So it's like the beginning of summer, last summer, I was doing simple patterns. Then in the middle, I was doing complicated. Then school hit and I wasn't really crocheting. Then I made complicated patterns. I designed some simpler patterns, but still kind of complicated because I was designing them. And then I got back into doing simple patterns for like the holidays. And then once that was done, I wasn't crocheting. I came back and I started crocheting complicated patterns again. I made like a no face. I really haven't made that much since I've come back from Peru and from school. Well, and then I started making this Totoro and that failed. And now I'm just getting back into that mood where I want to make cute little things that are easy to make. that give me instant, what's it called? It's not melatonin, it's serotonin. It's curious because like a lot of the people that I follow, I think they almost make things that are in the middle. They make things that maybe take a couple of days, not months, and not things that take a couple of hours. I don't know if this is just a pattern or like a thing that I do or that I'm going through. I feel like I'm almost losing my crojo, but now I'm not, because I'm making little things that make me happy. And I think I just have to recognize that that's just a phase. This is a phase that I'm going through with my crochet. And obviously I am pattern designing something right now that's slightly complicated, but I think it's just something that with any art form or any craft or hobby, you just kind of have to go through. But I don't know. I don't see a lot of people talking about that, like the different, like the change of, there's a big change of inspiration for me right now. Like right now I really want to try and start pursuing markets and selling my plushies and trying to generate a bigger income, but I also don't know. But I'm out here because I'm home alone. The lighting in my house was really bad, and because being outside is nice. I don't know if you know, I'm from Minnesota. You could probably tell from just the way that I said Minnesota. Minnesota, oh yeah. But right now we're having like fall weather. Today's June 10th. The last like 2 weeks we've been having our air conditioning on nonstop. But right now it's really nice though, which is surprising and a little concerning. I've heard or read that being outside and listening to birds makes you significantly happier. So here we are. You're welcome. We have some annoying birds. Lately I've been hearing the mourning dove, which is also an audio on TikTok that's been going viral. That's how I actually figured out what the bird was. I'm like, what bird is that? It sounds like an owl, but it also kind of sounds like a loon, our state bird. And then I heard a TikTok and they were talking about like how that sound, the sound of the mourning dove, is so nostalgic for people like my age. And I was like, hey, that's the bird I've been hearing. So yeah, I've just been trying to get outside more, since I know most summers I'm a terrible person and I stay inside. I feel like going to Peru made me really appreciate being outside more, because I just had to turn off all of my discomfort. Like, oh, I got sunburned, that doesn't matter. I'm in Peru, like I just have to enjoy, and I'm running out of yarn. Or even like, oh, I'm drenched in sweat walking 5 to 10 miles every day. Oh well. And so I think it's maybe more of an outdoorsy person, because usually, you know, I would just sit right at my little spot at the counter and crochet away. But I'm really enjoying being outside. My dog is incredibly jealous right now, and I feel kind of bad, but also we only have one gate, because usually we'll put a gate, nope. Totally wrong. You can't see it, but there's an opening. Everything is opposite to where I think it is. There's an opening for stairs, and then there's stairs over there. And last summer we would put gates up, and then the dogs could sit out here with us. But right now we only have one gate, so she's inside pouting. She looks very mad. I just realized I was sitting on really sharp scissors this entire time. I just cut myself with those scissors, not those ones, with a different pair of scissors. Last night I cut my lip because I was stupid, because I put everything in my mouth, you know, but I put them in like this, and they were open slightly, and they just like right there. You can't see it, but I definitely felt it. And I also felt really dumb. I don't know where I was. Yeah, I do. I'm about to hit 12,000 followers on Instagram. I think I'm 5 away. And I'm super excited about that. I don't really know what I'm gonna do yet. I have some ideas, but it's difficult because I think a lot of the people that follow me crochet, I think, allegedly, but also I think a lot don't. So if I was gonna do a giveaway, should I give away like a plush or one of my patterns or materials to crochet with? I don't really know. I have some ideas. I have kind of a surprise coming that I'm excited about. Special collab. I don't know what people like. I mean, I don't use like any cool like handmade hooks or anything that I could purchase and give away and like recommend. I just use these basic guys. Shipping is also a thing to consider. All of the giveaways I've done so far have been just in the US because shipping is so ridiculously expensive. So I'm not really sure what to do. Comment and tell me. You know, usually I don't take advice from other people or random people on the internet, but right now I need ideas. And it's not advice, it's inspiration. Like, what do you do? Do you do giveaways? I haven't done a giveaway for a while. I think I did a giveaway when I hit 1,000 followers. I think I gave away a really big amigurumi frog, but that's kind of it. It's like when I'm in school, I'm just in school. This crochet account, I mean, it exists, but it also doesn't exist. So giveaways and keeping track of how many followers I have and even like crocheting new things, designing patterns is just, it doesn't happen because I'm obviously studying. Now it's summer and I'm really just focusing on doing this, and I'm working for my parents right now. I have a lot more free time and I want to like invest my time in something and like creating more patterns, a passive income, but it's difficult. It's also difficult to find inspiration because so many other patterns exist where I'm terrified, like if I make something, somebody's gonna be like, yeah, I have a pattern that looks just like that, and I'm gonna be like, cool. But also, if it's based on something in real life, you know, you can't just copyright something that exists in real life. I'm trying to do this without a needle. It's really kind of dumb of me, so I'm gonna do it with a needle. Right now I'm just gonna be making chicken bodies. I'm gonna put on their eyes and embroider their details later because I don't want to haul all my stuff outside. I have a theory. Would you like to hear it? You're going to. I believe that when people first start crocheting, they love variegated yarn. And then as they continue and develop and grow, like we all do, they learn that variegated yarn isn't that great. Because I have a ton of old variegated yarn that I haven't touched in months. This is the only, like, this is the most recent I've touched variegated yarn. I don't use it. Look at my Instagram. It doesn't exist. And my theory comes from my own personal experience. I look at people's stuff on Instagram and I feel like hardly anybody is using variegated yarn. Could it be a phenomenon? I feel like my theory could be true. People that are just getting into crocheting love variegated yarn, but then once you start like crocheting more often and stuff, it's not as appealing. And then we're stuck with all of this variegated yarn that we don't know what to do with. So then eventually, I mean, we end up using it and whatever, because I never see people use it. And I don't know, it's obviously still being mass produced. So I wonder who does use it. Is it all just like the new fiber arts people? It baffles me. Where are the variegated, who is buying variegated yarn? And if you are, amazing. It sounds like I'm being so mean to variegated yarn, and I kind of am. But if you really are buying variegated yarn, please let me know what you're doing with it. Like, I can't think of many amigurumi that I've seen or that I've made that have used variegated yarn, and I need to get rid of it. I want it gone. So please comment ideas and tell me what I should do with my variegated yarn. So don't want to waste it, because I can't do that. I will feel guilt. I feel guilty just like not finishing projects. Like, to me, not even like having a whip that I haven't touched for a couple months, to me is like wasting yarn. And I know I probably shouldn't think like that, but it bothers me that I have unfinished projects. Excuse you. But that also could just be a me issue. Okay, here's just me thinking of random crap off the top of my head. Do you wind your yarn? And if so, how do you do it? Do you like ball it? Do you make it into a cake or a hank? No, they come in a hank and then you unhank them and put them into a cake. I don't know. As you can tell, I don't have a lot of experience with expensive yarns. I personally cake my yarn. I just think it makes it so much easier. I love having a center pull. My favorite thing. I also have like it's almost like a spinning top, pretty much. And you just like put your yarn on it, and then as you pull, it'll spin and you can just pull more. But I haven't been using that as much because I invested in a really, really nice yarn winder. Do you ever record yourself crocheting and then look back at your facial expressions and go, that's what I look like? That's what I'm having right now, or at least I know that I'll be having in about 20 minutes. I don't even know how long I've been here. I'm also becoming increasingly self-aware that I put my stitch markers in my mouth. I always knew that I did that. And sometimes, like, I'd be crocheting at a friend's house and a friend's house, Macy, my best friend's house, and I would borrow her stitch markers, and then I would accidentally put them in my mouth, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And she was, I mean, she doesn't care, but it was just funny. It was like, it's such out of habit that I do it that I don't think about it until now. Oh, my Sweet Snuggles yarn video. Seeing that I put my stitch marker in my mouth over 10 times just in that one video, and I wasn't even crocheting the whole process, was insane to me, and it kind of makes me feel disgusting. I mean, I don't really bring my stitch markers outside of my house a lot. It just makes me laugh, because even when I try and not do it, I have to. It's just, it's been hardwired into my brain that I put my stitch marker in my mouth. Because if I set it down, I'll lose it. Or, you know, like right now, if I set it on this table is really gross because it's outside. But dog hair. Somehow it's more gross to set my stitch marker down on the table than to put it in my mouth. I don't know. Like, I just imagine if COVID, you know, stayed how bad it was in the beginning, how many more things would change. My friend Macy's a cosmetologist, and I've talked to other cosmetologists because, what did I do? Oh, I got my hair professionally done. My makeup and hair professionally done for a wedding. And they were like, yeah, it's crazy how much COVID has changed everything, because, you know, when we would be doing hair, we would open the bobby pins like with our teeth, and now it's like they realized how gross that is. And I feel like I'm having that moment with my stitch markers. It doesn't bother me enough yet to change it. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. I made a mistake. I don't know what I did. I've made a sweater. It was too big. It was made out of acrylic. And then I started making a second sweater with like mohair and a different yarn that was really expensive. And I made a quarter my first panel, and I, 2 months ago, just turned it into a unity scarf. Infinity scarf. Because I knew I was never going to finish it, and I felt guilty. Surprise, surprise. I felt guilty that I hadn't finished it because it was expensive. And, okay, I'm actually going to make sure I do this right. I know what I'm doing now. I almost have this pattern memorized. I could probably do it not memorized, but because I'm talking to you, I will be fact-checking myself. Don't jump on the table. I'm watching you. Imagine hearing that. Don't jump up on the table. When we were in Peru, our hotel in Lima had a super tiny elevator, and it had a weight limit, but it was in kilograms. And one day after rehearsal, me and my two roommates, and then two of our professors, and then another student, all squished onto the elevator, and we got stuck. And then the elevator, we got stuck in it for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the elevator was broken for a while, so we ended up having to climb up our 9 flights of stairs. And then they fixed the elevator, and then that night 3 more of the other people that we were on our trip with got stuck in the elevator, and then another person not from our trip got stuck, and so then our elevator was broken for a while, like 4 days I think. And we were on the 9th floor, so we would constantly have to be going up and down, up and down, up and down. And we're all weird musician kids, so like when we would be going up and down, we would be like singing or like making random noises and like whatever. And sometimes the other people on our trip would be going down with us. They would make weird noises, and we would just be dying laughing. So I don't know, the don't get on the table, like me saying it that weird reminded me of the weird things that we would say as we climbed 9 flights of stairs. Oh, it also didn't help that all the walls in the elevator were mirrors. I don't know. I mean, the power went out, so we couldn't really see when we were stuck in the elevator, but it made it feel like even more cramped, in my opinion. And it made it really obvious that we were all super sweaty and uncomfortable. So if you're an architect or an elevator designer, maybe don't put mirrors on every single wall of the elevator. I know it's supposed to make it feel like it's bigger, and I know like a lot of people do that for interior design. Nah, maybe not. Maybe not all the walls. It's just a little jarring, to say the least. My parents are at one of their friends' house celebrating their 1-year anniversary, yeah. And I was invited unofficially. I believe they said kids, wait, what was it? Children and adult kids are invited to come or whatever. And I was like, I could go. I've been to their house before, many years ago, but I decided to stay home and hang out with you. Also, because we have dogs, let them be out, even though they're locked inside the house and I'm out here. What's your favorite beverage? Mine's water, because I was just thinking about grabbing a drink of water. There's a place in Maple Grove called Nice to Meet Ya, and I get their Oreo boba with brown sugar tapioca, and it's my favorite thing. I accidentally got it with lychee jelly, because I thought lychee jelly was not a fruit. It's a fruit flavor, so I essentially got chocolate and fruit. And I believe it was, yeah, it was like my last day of classes or finals. And I got it and I was like, disgusting. I was super upset because, I mean, boba drinks aren't cheap, rightfully so. I mean, they make the tapioca there. It's a large drink. I was so sad. And I was like trying to like scoop them out and put them into my empty water bottle just so I wouldn't have to actually eat them. It was a mess. Okay, so my parents ended up coming home last night while I was filming, so I didn't get to say goodbye or really finish speaking, except I just forgot what I was saying now. Oh, my parents came back last night when I was filming, so I didn't get to like finish what I was saying or show you everything that I made. But I ended up making another gray chicken and a variegated chicken. When I wasn't recording or talking to you guys, I was just watching TV, I made the body of another chicken, this chicken who doesn't have its comb, and then this morning I made this one. I used Sweet and Snuggles yarn in the chunky. It's not the light version. It's not the version that I tested in that other video. It's like the really thick version. I used a 7mm hook, 11mm eyes. Is that crooked? It is. I have to fix the embroidery on this one. It's too small. I really used to hate embroidery. I'm totally jumping topics. I made that chicken, that's it. That's all I made. I used to hate embroidery. I still do a little bit. It's not my strong suit. My strong suit is just crochet. That's why I really like though these chicken patterns. It's not a lot of embroidery, but it's still enough where I'm kind of practicing what I'm doing. It's not as sunny and nice out today as it was yesterday, so that's why I'm hanging out inside. Dogs aren't as jealous anymore because I'm inside with them. I'm gonna ask you your opinion. It's not gonna matter, but I'm still gonna ask it anyways. You can let me know if I made a really big mistake or not. Is this beak better? The eye just fell out. So let's try that again. I'm learning that I should have used a smaller hook size when using this yarn, even though it's significantly chunkier. An eye just fell out, and I was able to reattach the new eye, with the safety eye backing. I fixed this one's eye and the beak. As of now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chickens that I made in 2 days. I love it. I love the pattern. Go check it out. That's pretty much it. I don't have much more to say until I see you next time. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my Instagram because I'll be posting more of these guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.